Hello and welcome to the TES Secondary Maths Resource of the Week number 16 with me, Craig Barton. Now, trying to find interesting, engaging statistical resources can be very difficult, and I've been on a bit of a mission over these last couple of years trying to assemble the best resources, activities, websites and data sets that I can find. And this resource is going right near the top of the pile: music industry trends. Now, those of you who are regular users of the TES website will straight away recognise this name as a symbol of not only high quality mathematical resources, but also quirky, interesting ones that often have a little twist about them. And again, like I said last week, if you've got a bit of spare time on your hands, there are far worse ways than you can spend it than just going through his entire resource bank and downloading them all, because there's some absolutely world-class stuff there, all freely available. So let's have a look at this one, music industry trends. It's a PowerPoint, and then there's an equivalent notebook file if you've got the smartboard software, and then a worksheet to accompany it. And it's just a fascinating data set here. It shows how the music industry made its money from 1980 up to the present day, well, up to 2012, I think it goes up to. And I use this in my year 7s, and I just thought, for a bit of a laugh, I'll just ask them how they reckon music was sold in the 1980s. What formats was it sold on? I'll tell you what, they didn't have a clue. Only a few of them even came up with CD. Like, this is how frightening it's getting these days. A lot of students aren't even aware that music can be sold on CDs. But to be fair, when I started thinking about it, I couldn't come up with that many ways that music was sold in 1980s. Look at this, you've got about 20% in cassette. Look at this 8-track, 14.3% there. Then you've got a few vinyls, but the vast majority is LPs and EPs. So we had a nice little discussion with the students about that. And then it's a case of showing them just how things change over the next few years. So in 1985, cassettes really start to come into play, and then you start seeing CDs build. And then it develops onwards and onwards like this. Now, the way I chose to present it to the students was to use the accompanying worksheet, which kind of summarises all this. And I did exactly, I mean, I didn't change a single thing. I got students to write me as much down as they could. I encouraged them to write me 3 bullet points that kind of summarised how music industries changed the way it makes its money from 1980 to 2012. And this kind of developing this written communication and these analytical statistical skills are very difficult to engage the students with. And I think that's often because the statistics that are chosen aren't very relevant to the students. But this is something that they could all understand and they could all buy into. And they came up with some absolutely fascinating things, and some of them aren't particularly strong when it comes to communicating mathematically, especially at year 7, but doing things like this will get them better and better and better. And then I absolutely adore this as well. What are your predictions for 2015? How will things change? And if we just look through this, it's like, it's fascinating. Just keep your eye on the red, keep your eye on how the CDs look like they're absolutely dominating, look like they're absolutely taking over things. And in 2000, 92.3% of music sales are on CD. But then in 2005, look at that, look at the change between 2000 and 2005. All these different things start coming into play. And that's what one of my year 7s was saying, that there's far more ways that the music industry is making its money in 2005 than in any other year. And then it all starts changing here in 2010. And then just in these 2 years, it's quite a significant change from there. And it was just fascinating to hear the kids' take on this. And if anything, I was more interested in the students, because I've been a big music fan for years, and I wasn't aware that such a dramatic change had happened. So, and then very kindly, a year-by-year pie chart is presented, and you can ask questions there like which year sees the biggest change, and can you offer an explanation for this, and so on. And then, as I say, getting the kids to predict where they think it's going to go in the next few years. So it made for a lovely little kind of 20-25 minute segment of a lesson, and the kids really bought into it. And then when we then went on to learn how to construct pie charts, they had a real interest in doing it because they'd seen pie charts in action and seen the kind of use that they could have. So there it is, music industry trends, an absolutely wonderful resource. I hope you find it useful, and I'll be back with a fresh resource of the week next week. Take care and bye for now.